welcome to A Cat in the Garden. And I know this is not Nutmeg, but Nutmeg decided he didn't want to hang out with me right now. So I got my old man Magic here. I know he doesn't look great, but he's hanging in. He's actually pretty happy, just hungry all the time. And today I actually wanted to talk to you about some of the biggest plants in my collection. I know everybody's always talking about getting a cutting of this or like a tiny baby plant of that, and they're so cute. Like, I love baby plants, but lately I've been getting a lot more into large, full, robust plants. There's just something about the way that you can kind of make them a centerpiece in your space and the way that they just fill out an area. I mean, we're gonna include that one, obviously. I know I've been getting a few comments about it, but yeah, I just wanna go through and show some of the biggest plants in my collection. Most of them aren't huge. I only have a few like really big plants, and one of them is too big for me to kind of just hold up here, so I'll show footage of that at the end. But yeah, let's get started. First giant plant that I have, this is probably the second biggest plant in my whole collection. This is an aglaonema, and I do not know the ID. I do know it was grown by Costa Farms, and I bought it at Lowe's. It has these white stems. It kind of looks like bok choy, not gonna lie. It's got the white stems that kind of go all the way up the leaf, and then the leaves are green, but what makes it different from bok choy, I guess, is that the margins of the leaf are white. And this was an absolute steal. I think it was like $28, $29. It has grown a little bit since I got it. I probably got it a month or two ago, I think in October. And it is just, no, I think I got it on Nutmeg's birthday, November 1st. So I've had it for a month now. And each of the little plants in there, I think there's 4 or 5, they've all grown a new leaf since I've had it. I have not repotted it yet because I haven't decided what kind of pot I want to put it in, but it's just such a nice plant. I love it so much. So yeah, that's gonna be the first one. The next one is going to be kind of a basic plant, but this is my regular old green heartleaf philodendron. And I just love this plant. I honestly forget to water it half the time. I am a chronic underwater, if you didn't know that about me already, but it just grows. I don't really do anything. And I know the leaves like get smaller if you don't put it on a pole, but with the regular heartleaf philodendron, it takes a long time for them to get smaller, which I think is really nice. You know, a lot of the leaves are this size, which is about the palm of my hand, which isn't terrible. And it's just such an easygoing plant. Like, if you're new to houseplant collecting, a heartleaf philodendron is great, or just like a pothos, anything like that. Okay, that was my UPS man. He was like, oh, you grow plants indoors, because there's a floor to ceiling window right next to our front door. So that was interesting, but he was really nice. Anyway, the next plant is going to be my Scindapsus exotica. I don't have too many Scindapsus. I want more, and I especially want them to be nice and big and full. This one, I actually took 2 plants and combined them. And so it has a couple of really long runners on it, but I just really like these giant leaves. I did water it this morning, so it should be fine. But I just like the way that it really fills out this pot. Obviously it's kind of bald in the back, but here it just looks really nice. And I have this in my living room by our TV, and I just really like staring at it every day. I love seeing this, it's almost hitting the floor now. I love seeing it just kind of like grow, and there's a little bit of a gap between the leaves. I'm sure it'll turn into a runner soon, but this is just another like really easy going plant. And if you are newer to houseplants, this is a nice one to get as well, just to have something different from your typical green pothos, heartleaf philodendron, things like that. This one is probably the smallest plant that I'm going to be showing you today, but I'm just kind of in awe at how big it is for the type of plant that it is. So this is my Alocasia maharani, and this is the newest leaf that it put out. This, you can kind of see here, is the leaf size, and it just has so many leaves. I am literally in love with this plant. Is that the size of my head? Close. So this one is really easygoing for an alocasia for me. I do grow it in no drainage. The roots literally look like ramen. But yeah, it's super easygoing for me. It has only lost like 2 leaves since I bought it, but it's also grown like 3, so it's just really nice. I love the reddish backs. This is probably the best and like easiest alocasia hybrid that there is out there. It is a cross of black velvet and mellow. And yeah, it's just really nice and really big for a jewel alocasia. I know the leaves on a Maharani can get bigger than this, but to see a leaf this size just in like a regular house plant collection, I feel like isn't too normal. So I did want to highlight this one as the one alocasia in this video. Okay, we're almost to the end here, but I wanted to show off next my very thirsty Monstera albo. I just watered it, but obviously, I don't know. The one thing I will say about this plant, people say that Monstera albos and Thai constellations are like really prone to rot. This is like the thirstiest plant I own. Literally like once a week hits, the leaves just kind of start wilting like this. And I mean, they perk back up after I water it, but this plant is so thirsty. I don't mind though. I mean, I am a chronic underwaterer, but I would rather have it be thirsty than rotting, so can't really complain too much. This plant I got as a 3-leaf top cut, and the bottom leaf actually the bottom 2 leaves died, the original leaf and then like the first baby leaf it put out. And so this was an original leaf. The other 5 leaves have all grown in my care. I think they're starting to get a little bit bigger. No fenestrations yet, but it's pretty tall. It's one of the taller plants in my collection and I just love it. It's just so cute. And eventually I do want to move it out of my Millspo cabinet. I'm thinking because the variegation is more marbled instead of sectoral, I shouldn't deal with browning too much, but I might get a humidifier for it outside the cabinet just in case. But it's just so pretty. Hopefully that's focusing, but I love it. All right, last, certainly not least, is my ridiculously huge philodendron Brazil. This plant, I feel like, is literally as big as me. She's gorgeous. She's growing all over the place. She is super full. Leaves haven't really gone down in size. They haven't gone bigger, but they haven't really gone down in size either. She is constantly throwing out new growth points up here. There is some philodendron carnival mixed in here. This is my original philodendron carnival plant. I really don't know if I'm going to be able to find it through all of this right now, but she's just great. We got all sorts of variegation on her as well. We've got mostly lime green on this strand. We've got a good mix of healthy variegation on here. We have the carnival variegation, and I've really tried with this plant. Like, I don't really cut her. I don't really do anything. I water her every couple weeks, and that's about it. And I just let her do her thing. She gets pretty good light from that greenhouse that I have, as well as from the natural light from the sun in the morning. So she just gets everything she needs. I honestly don't even fertilize her. I should, but I don't. And she's just doing great. So this is probably like the biggest, I mean, it's definitely not probably, it's the biggest trailing plant in my collection, and I just want all my trailing plants to look like this. Can they take notes? Can they grow faster, please? Because if all my trailing plants looked like this, I would be showing them off literally all the time. But this thing's really heavy now, so I'm gonna go put it back. Alrighty, so those were the largest plants in my collection. I actually had more than I realized that were kind of more of the medium to large size. Obviously not everything is as big and beautiful as that, but I have a good fair bit, and I have some that are on their way to being really nice and full as well. But I really hope that you enjoyed going through them with me. If you like this video, you can give me a thumbs up down below, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any more houseplant content from me. and my kitties, thank you so much, and we will catch you in the next one.